Hello. For the third week in Advent, I've chosen all three readings: Isaiah, Thessalonians, and 1 John. And it has to do with the Spirit of the Lord. Looking at people with the Spirit of the Lord, especially in those readings. First of all, there's Isaiah the prophet. And Isaiah the prophet is talking about the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. And the Spirit of the Lord has told Isaiah to tell the people the glad tidings that the Messiah is coming. And you can just read it there. But Isaiah was only able to do this because the Spirit of the Lord was upon him. Apparently, with John the Baptist, the Spirit of the Lord was upon him, so much so that people flocked to see him. They left the city and they went out to the desert to listen what John had to say about the Spirit of the Lord and the coming of the Messiah. And in fact, they were so overwhelmed and impressed, Jesus went and saw him, listened to him. And the people, the Jews in the big city in Jerusalem, sent their priests out to check him out, to see who he was. And in all humility, when they asked him about the Messiah and could he possibly be, well, he was very forthright and blunt. And he says, I am not the Messiah. Well then, are you a prophet with the Spirit of the Lord? Are you Elijah? I am not Elijah. Well, are you the prophet that we're looking for? I am not. And then John the Baptist, he says, look, I am just a voice of one crying out in the desert, make straight the Lord. John the Baptist listened to the Lord, listened to the Spirit in his life, and he told the people how he felt, what he thought, and what God was saying to him. Do you remember also Jesus Christ? The Spirit of the Lord was on him. Early on in his ministry, Jesus Christ, in Luke 4:18, he goes back to the synagogue in Nazareth, and he picks up a scripture or a scroll and reads from the prophet Isaiah, the same reading that we read in the first reading. And Jesus, who listens to the Spirit in his life, after he read it and rolled it back up, he said, today this scripture is being fulfilled in your hearing. Wow. Another one who listened to the Spirit of the Lord. But another one is St. Paul in the second reading. Paul, he says, don't quench the Spirit in your lives. Don't stamp it out or don't throw water on it, on the fire of the Spirit. No. Do not despise prophetic utterances or spiritual utterances of the prophets. Test everything and keep what is good and throw away what isn't. Listen to the Spirit. All these great people. But what I think, and what amazes me, I just tore a page. What amazes me is, I think our new Pope has the Spirit of the Lord upon him. I just received a little Christmas gift, these two little booklets, and they're called The Simple Wisdom of Francis, Fullness of Life. The Simple Wisdom of Francis, Our Heart's Desire. And it just goes and takes his heartfelt talks that he gives, not in the desert, But in the papal building there in Rome on Wednesdays at his audiences and on special occasions, and these were in September, October last year, and November, December last year. And there's, I haven't read them yet, but I do read a lot. What he says, whether it's in little booklets like this or whether it's in the morning newspaper, and I'm amazed that the Spirit of the Lord is upon him. And I really believe that. But finally, and probably the most amazing thing is, the Spirit of the Lord is with us. If we listen to the prophets or Christ or my heart or my head or just listen, God speaks in us too. The Spirit of the Lord is upon us only if we take out time to listen and settle down. Oh, we might not become a Paul or with the others and so forth. No, we won't. That's okay. But I really believe that God speaks in our hearts, in our minds, in our events, in our scriptures, if we only listen. We are like Isaiah, John the Baptist, Christ, and the new Pope. All we have to do is listen. Time in this Christmas season is a wonderful time to take out time and listen to God. The Spirit is in us. Have a good day.